This is part 2 of remixing Beethoven with Ableton Live. So what you can do is try your motif, I like number 2 here, with any of the ideas here. Now I've tried to make it nice and straightforward for you guys by giving you little hints. So with the bass here, try with motif 1, 2 or 4, because remember, not all musical ideas are going to gel with all other musical ideas. You may get some harmonic clashes and things, so that's why I've tried to give you little hints, but I'm sure you guys will figure out by listening what sounds cool and what doesn't. Let's jump to our second channel here, the second drum rack I've created for you guys. So you need to click above here, make sure it's selected. Let's go down to arm our channel again. Now, instead of sort of these whole phrases, these motifs that we've got in this channel 1, in channel 2, I've selected more stabs. So more kind of straight up, single note kind of things. Now remember, you can play these with your computer keyboard in exactly the same way as we just did. Make sure you select computer keyboard, make sure you've got your little piano emoji on. I'm going to be using my MIDI controller now. So what you can also see, guys, besides my drum rack here in this channel, is if we scroll right here with the mouse, you can see I've got some reverb, I've got some ping pong delay and also a filter. Now these are effects and we can add lots of different effects when we're using Ableton to enhance the sound of our original sounds. So check this out. If we add some delay, if we play with the frequency here in our filter, maybe trigger a little drum groove. We've got this one, try me at 118. Here we go. So you guys go ahead and create as many little clips as you can, so you've got lots of ideas to experiment with. So we've looked at 2 MIDI channels now, guys. You can see this MIDI information, it's these little rectangles, we can move it all around. But what we're going to do now is jump into some of the audio channels, okay? So firstly, let's try these drum grooves up here. And you can see I've loaded in, if we double click into each of these rectangles, it takes us down here into Ableton's clip view. And what we can see now instead of this MIDI information is audio. So I've got a couple of loops here from online. You can get these types of loops from anywhere. Ableton's got loads that comes with it. If you download all your packs, it will give you loads of fun things to play with. Here we go, drum loops, builds and drops, full loops. Whoa, so you could drag these in if you wanted to and just drag and drop them. So all I need to do now is experiment with the different grooves. Whoa, let's see if this works with any of mine. So that's one way of creating your groove, but how about you hate all the grooves I've just given you? And that's totally fine. We're all different people. We all have different tastes. That's what makes the world a beautiful place. So now though, how about make your own drum groove? So let's arm this channel. This is just a drum kit that I've chosen from within Ableton. And just like you did with the sampler, it's exactly the same thing. You can use your computer keyboard now, guys, or you can use your MIDI controller. We can finger drum, or we can double click and we can start to draw in our own groove. If we pick up the pen up here, we can draw in loads at the same time. See? And remember, you can move things around. Cool, guys, so you've seen now how to play drum loops, create your own drum loops. What about you just want to add some other instruments? So for example, you might want to add a ripping synth solo, you might want to add a bass line. So I'm going to show you now how to create a new MIDI track to play in some new instruments. So wherever you would like to add that track, so say after your bass, click here and then the track is going to be added right next door. We're going to head up to create here and we're going to insert a new MIDI track. Here we go, we've got an empty MIDI track now, free with nothing in it. And we can come down now to Ableton's browser and look instruments. And we've got a huge choice of different sounds to play with. You can scroll through. That sounds nice. And then Make sure you've got this one selected and it's going to drop into that channel by double clicking. You can also drag and drop too. So, lovely. You can change by hot swapping, so you can scroll through other sounds. You don't have to have bass, you could go for a voice. So I'm going to delete that now because I've already chosen a pretty cool bass sound that I like. I'm going to arm the channel. And I've already recorded quite a few little bass lines. And I've said which ones they might work with. So try with number 1. Let's try this groove. So what you guys can do, let's hit our stop all clips here, is you can go ahead and move mine around, move the notes around. You can see I've got this piano roll here, which represents all the notes on the pianos. If you can't hear anything when you're scrolling up and down, make sure this little blue headphone man is turned on. If you click fold, you're going to see just the notes that are in the clip. So go ahead and create your own bass lines and experiment. If you want to change my bass sound because you don't like it, you can hot swap. If you guys actually play bass yourselves or any other instrument, say you play saxophone and you would like to play the main riff on the saxophone, then you can set up an audio channel to record yourself. I've already laid some audio out for you guys. I've recorded a couple of vocal ideas. I've got some effects on here, some filters. And then I've also put in a couple of simple guitar riffs for you. But if you play guitar, then get your guitar set up and get recording. Now I've got one more technical thing to show you guys before we start to lay out our new remix arrangement. This is really fun, so I've got to show you it. We are going to take a stem from the National Orchestra's playing and we're going to return it into our own MIDI instrument. So I've created one here, it's called the Woodwind Sampler and it is the flute and clarinet. Check this out. So let me show you guys how to do it because you might want to do that with, say, the bassoons or the timpani. So let's head back over into arrangement view where we've got all our stems. Let's hit our orange button. Here we go. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to click here and I'm going to create a new MIDI track below. So we've already done this once, guys. So now I'll show you a shortcut, Command, Shift and T. Or of course you could head back up to create and create MIDI track there. So empty MIDI track. Now if we head down to the empty MIDI track, we can see drop an instrument or sample here. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop a stem. We're going to drop a sample in there. I think, should we just go for the trumpets? Because I think that could be kind of cool. So I'm going to hit my trumpets here and I'm going to click that MIDI track again. The trumpets are selected. I'm going to drag and drop. And there we go. We've got a little simpler here, which is Ableton's little sister sampler device. And you can see the trumpet stem is in it. Now, if I press my MIDI controller, you can see it starts to move, but we don't want to be waiting here all day. So we can scroll along. I would suggest picking one note only, so then you can like play it along. Cool, so I've got my little sound here. And I'm gonna choose where that sample ends as well, so it doesn't continue by bringing this arrow down. We can turn up the gain here to make it a little bit louder. And now we can play it chromatically on our MIDI keyboard. And then this is where it gets fun, guys. Audio effects, we can start to add some delay maybe. Try a reverb maybe. We could just go, oh wow. Oh, this sounds lovely. So now let's head back. First of all, let's hit double click our square here to take us straight back. Let's hit tab. You guys will be getting used to this by now. Let's click our stop all clips. We're back in session view. And all of a sudden, we've got a new instrument, a trumpet. So now let's try and have a little jam with our new trumpet part. Let's get something going here. Oh, nice. Make sure my trumpet's armed. so happy. And then guys, remember you can record it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that's so cool. So I played a little bum note there. So by double clicking, I can jump into my MIDI, and there it is. You can see there's my bum note. And just delete it. And here we go. And then I might want to add a bass line. Let's go. Cool guys, so now it gets super exciting. Once you've created loads of your own little ideas, however you may have done that, or whether you've just experimented with lots of mine, either by changing the notes around or cropping the clips down like we saw earlier on, then we're going to start to arrange things out. Now you can see I've got these little orange squares here where we are now going to build the structure for your remix, okay? So I'm going to show you how to do this now, guys, and this is super fun. So for example, I've decided that I love this one. This is going to be my starting riff. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to hold down Option, and I am going to drag this down to the top here, and this is going to be the starting clip for my remix. Now I can trigger it here, but I can also trigger it here, and that's going to trigger the whole row. This is called a scene in Ableton. And then I'm going to bring in the next clip. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to build mine with scenes. So I'm going to drag this down because I definitely want this one, but I think I would also quite like to have this lovely stab sound here. So I'm going to also Option and drag, bring that down. Maybe I like this cool percussion. So I'm going to drag that down. So then you can see now a structure is going to start to form. So we're going to start like this. Then we're going to trigger the new scene, bring something else in, and we can just keep going. So I'm going to duplicate that, hold down Option and drag, hold down Option and drag, duplicate this, and then I think I would like to add a groove. Which one? Yeah, I'm feeling that. I'm going to drag that down. So then I've got my groove, and then what I can do, guys, a little cheat here, you can do a capture and insert scene, and it's just going to copy everything down again, but then I can keep adding to it. So then I think I'm going to add the rap that my lovely friend Billy has done. So let's check this out.
It's automatic, the beat comes quick, quite tragic. Remix and flip the script, there's no static. Written in the depths of time, but still added. No need to rush, we flush with pure magic.
That sounds cool. And then I want to do a little repeat again of this. So I'm going to do the capture and insert scene again. And this time I'm going to drop a bass line. So let's see which one sounds cool.
It's automatic, the beat comes quick, quite tragic. Remix and flip the script, there's no static. Written in the depths of...
Oh yeah, I'm loving that. So let's drag this one down here. So we can just keep building on this and make a whole structure. Now what I like to do though, guys, when I'm making any kind of tune is make sure I've got an A and a B section. So I'm feeling this for the A, but I would quite like to go somewhere else for a B section. So here we go, I've got another little MIDI instrument here, another sampler, where I created this little clip, which I really liked. So I'm going to drag that down here. And then let's see what it works. Oh, that sounds good. I could also do a little filter. I've got one on the master channel here, guys. So I double click master channel. Play with the frequency here. And then let's go back to the drop band. Now going to record this back into arrangement view. Double click here, the square, so you can see we're at 1.1.1 here, which means we're right at the beginning of the timeline here in arrangement view. And now this is going to be the first time we've used this button, guys. We're going to use the big record button. So when we hit that, everything that we play here in session view is going to be recorded into arrangement view, which is pretty cool. Now, what we can also do, which is extra cool, is turn on this yellow little button here, and this means automation. Effectively, it means if I'm going to turn my filter here, when I'm jamming in session view, it's going to record that for us into arrangement view. So super cool. Let's turn that yellow button on. Let's get that big record going. It's going to give us a 1 bar count in. Let's make our arrangement. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we could even filter here. Let's go to scene 2. Let's go to scene 3.
It's automatic, the beat comes quick, quite tragic. Remix and flip the script, there's no static. Written in the depths of time, but still added.
Filter it, guys. We can go a bit crazier with these filters. Then we can have a pause. 2, 3, and drop. And then we're just going to hit spacebar whenever we've finished. And then wait for it, guys. Tab key. Orange button, back to arrange view. Ta-da! There is my song. So obviously, I'm going to tidy it up a little bit. I'm going to shrink my orchestra because we don't need them. We'll turn them off as well. And then we can click these arrows here and we can start to open up our tracks. And here we go, guys. Here are all the parts that we just recorded in. How cool is this? So now we're in arrangement view, guys. We can start to tidy things up a little bit. We can move things around. We can chop the samples. So we could delete, maybe we don't want the stabs to come in here. We could delete them just by clicking a little blob there and deleting. Command Z to bring them back. Maybe we want them to come in earlier. Again, just hold down Option and drag, and we're going to start the stabs from the beginning. So you could hear then that automation of the filter. So let me show you guys. We're going to open our master channel here, and we're going to hit one button on our computer keyboard, A. And there we go. You can see that movement I recorded. So you could tidy that up if you want to. If you hover above here with the magnifying glass, we can zoom in a little bit and we could play around now with this auto filter and maybe redraw it in. Maybe we want to start the filter super low like this. If we hold down Shift, it's going to erase these key points that we've drawn. So check this out. Maybe we'll do a filter all the way till it drops. All the way. I'm ready. 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's automatic, the beat comes quick.
And maybe we don't want Billy to come in yet, so we'll just delete him and he can come in a bit later. If we hit our H and W here, height and width, it's going to bring us what's on our screen right now. Now at this point, guys, you may not need these stems anymore from the original recording. So what you can do now is just go ahead and delete these. And then what you would like to do is save this as a new version. So I'm going to save this as version 3. Here we go. So I've saved it as a new version. And then we can delete all these channels because they're empty. And then when we do our height and width now, that's exactly everything that we've made on the screen in front of us. So we can jump around now, guys. Like I said, move things out a little bit more. You can tidy up your automations. Remember, you can automate things on each channel as well, like this. So what we do then to draw that in, we've hit A already, and you can see this dotted red line. We're just going to click 2 little breakpoints here, and then you can automate this in. And click A to get back out of automation. So I'm going to sit now and play for a while and try to finish up my remix with what I've recorded here. I can, of course, keep adding new little melody ideas if I want to. It's very, very simple. Same procedure, just arm your channel here. But this time we're going to hit the big record if we want to record into arrangement view. When you guys have got it exactly as you want it, then see these little markers up here? These are our loop markers. We're going to select everything that's on the screen. We're going to click in this, it's called the beat time ruler. We're going to click there. It's going to highlight blue. And then we're going to come over here to export. So file, export. And here we go, we're going to export the master track, so all the tracks together, and we are going to come down to here, export, WAV, 24-bit, 44.1. I would say for your friends too, make sure your MP3 is on, because that file will be small enough for you to send to an email inbox. Export, and then into whatever folder you would like to go into. I'm going to go into my Beethoven Remix 2, and save my amazing remix. Exporting audio, done. So I hope that was fun, guys. Get stuck in. If you get stuck, there are millions of Ableton tutorials over on YouTube, but I'm sure if you just play around with what we've got here on the screen already, you're gonna come up with something fantastic. Don't be scared of anything, get stuck in and have fun. I'll see you guys next time.